everyone. Good morning, Saint Lucia and friends across the Caribbean and in the diaspora. My name is Michelle Samuel, and today I come to you wearing two deeply meaningful titles. Before I go into it, I would like to first open up with a word of prayer so we can set the stage and lay the foundation for a wonderful discussion. Father, Lord, I want to thank you so much for the breath of life that you have given me. I want to thank you for every opportunity that you have given me, everything that you have blessed me with, blessed my family with. I ask and I pray that as my heavenly partner and my earthly partner in this venture, in this journey, that you be in the midst of me, surround me, and bless me in abundance, and to guide my words, my thoughts, my actions. And I ask and pray that you allow everyone who is listening and watching to be blessed, to be touched, and to realize that they each have a purpose. Thank you so much for what I have and even what I do not have, for you know best. This I ask and I pray. Amen. So again, welcome to those of you who are watching. Welcome to those of you who are listening. If you are a Saint Lucian, I welcome you, fellow Saint Lucian. If you are a member of the diaspora, you are still welcome. If you are not Saint Lucian, that's fine. You are still welcome, because what I'm about to share may touch you, may resonate with you in some way, shape, or form. If you are watching this on your mobile device, please share the link with someone and invite them to join in and watch and listen as well. So as I stated earlier, I am coming to you wearing two deeply meaningful titles. The first is the GEC 2025 Ambassador to Saint Lucia, and the second as a finalist in the 2025 Gen Compass Awards, the Barrier Breaker category. I want to talk to you not just about those roles, but about something much bigger. The future of entrepreneurship in St. Lucia, and why we must make sure that our voices are heard on the global stage. So what is GEC? The Global Entrepreneurship Congress is the Olympics of entrepreneurship. It brings together more than 4,000 change makers. I'm talking about founders, investors, policymakers, and ecosystem leaders from over 200 countries. This year, it will be held from June 2nd to the 5th, 2025, in Indianapolis, Indiana, in the US. I had the life-changing opportunity to attend GEC 2019 in Bahrain as a finalist in the Ecosystem Champion category. Yes, you heard me right. I had been nominated in the past, but in the Ecosystem Champion category. It was a monumental nomination for me because I had worked very hard to bring Startup Huddle to St. Lucia and to empower the startup community, not just in St. Lucia, but it extended to the entire OECS region. And as a result, it really championed persons to come together, their peers, and to crowdsource solutions. Bringing together massive groups of people is something that I was able to successfully do for a number of years, and doing so in a positive way for the betterment of the people, for the betterment of all of us. Now, when I attended GEC in 2019 in Bahrain, let me tell you, it changed everything. It gave me access to knowledge, networks, partnerships, and perspectives. What I thought I knew before I went to Bahrain. That was totally blown out of the water. I was able to see things in a new light. I was able to appreciate things in a new way. And I was able to connect with persons who were just like myself when I thought I was alone. When I thought that I was the only one treading the path of the entrepreneur, treading that lonely, difficult road of being an entrepreneur. One of the events that meant a lot to me was the Startup Huddle demo. As of late, it has been renamed to the Startup Huddle Summit, but at that time, it was called the Startup Huddle demo. And this right here is an image of a group of us who took part in that demo. So these are a group of Startup Huddle managers and organizers from across the globe. And we all met together in one space to demonstrate to the persons who attended GEC in 2019 as to what the Startup Huddle environment and culture was all about. And let me tell you, the people that listened to this program, the people that was able to hear and understand how this program works, were really appreciative and understood that this type of setting, this type of culture is needed in the small business community because it's a support system. It's a support system that a lot of startups need when starting a business, because as I stated before, you're walking a lonely road and a lonely path that you feel that no one understands. But if you connect with others just like you, from all walks of life, and understanding that you have a common thread when woven together, what a masterpiece of quilt that it could make. When persons come together, share challenges, but also sharing solutions. You're able to progress. You're able to understand that you have someone that is there with you, someone who is holding your hand, somebody is willing to support you through your startup journey. And that's what every startup needs in order to survive, especially now. So this was the startup community that came together in 2019. It is a very small snippet of what the community actually looks like on a larger scale. Startup Huddle is in over 80 countries across the globe and has touched thousands, and I mean thousands of lives each month. I stepped down as the Startup Huddle organizer for Saint Lucia late last year, and early this year trained the new Startup Huddle organizer, Tanzania Mathrafidi, who now leads this program here in St. Lucia. I left it in her capable hands because I now had a new role to play. As a result of the success of Startup Huddle in St. Lucia and in the other OECS islands, I was appointed to the Startup Huddle Global Mentor. So now I am responsible for not only supporting my local organizer here, I am responsible for supporting other organizers across the globe. And it is a humbling experience to be able to share insight, share knowledge, and share best practices of how certain things can be done when challenges are faced. It has been a humbling experience, and I absolutely love it. Another experience was meeting persons who had been following me for years, following my progress, following the initiatives that I have been taking on, and then deciding because of that, they were impressed to take on the charge themselves. And I'm referring to this gentleman here. Because of him following me, and let me just say, this is a Wildlife Fellow from 2017. This young man and I never really networked one-on-one in 2017 when we were in Wildlife together, that is Young Leaders of the Americas Initiative. But after a while, he followed the ventures that I took on. He followed the programming on LinkedIn, on Facebook. He followed, and he realized that there was a pattern, and he wanted to be part of it. He felt that initially he could not do it, but because of what I was able to do, he was encouraged and impressed to do it himself. And he started a Startup Huddle chapter as a result of following me and seeing the progress. I say this to say that you never know who is watching. You never know who is looking at you and observing. You never know who is observing what you're doing, not in a negative way, because we do have negativity. We do have negativity, but there are those people who are inspired by the steps that you take. Do not ever dim your light. Shine your light brightly as the Lord intended. We are supposed to be unique, and we are supposed to shine our light. Initially, when I started this venture, SLUDTERA, I started this venture with the vision of reaching persons who would have otherwise been left behind or slipped through the cracks, and putting together and bringing to the fore initiatives, programs, and ventures that would assist them, help them, step by step, take them to where they need to be and where they need to go, provide some sort of guidance. And I have not regretted it. I have not regretted a single day. I have pulled up my hair. At times, I have asked myself, why have I done this and done this for free for so many years and not looked at maybe profiting from this and becoming a millionaire by now? Because believe you me, I could have been a millionaire today if I was profiting from this. I could have, but that was not my motivation. My motivation was to source, connect, and empower, because I realized that there was a gap that was not being filled. And if no one would fill it, why not me? Lord, use me and you fuel this passion that I have to help others. And so every venture, every organization, everything that I have done and participated in led me one step closer to something bigger and something more meaningful and more impactful, that it changed my life. And it brings me such joy to know that it's changing the lives of others. And I am so grateful to have been given this opportunity to be your ambassador, Saint Lucia. It gives me utmost pride to be your ambassador. I am humbled, I'm appreciative, and I want to thank again the Global Entrepreneurship Network. President Jonathan Ottmans, thank you so much for entrusting me with this responsibility. Thank you for believing in me and in what I have been able to do, and in believing that I can accomplish what you had set out for Jen when you first started it. And for those of you who may not be familiar with what Jen is, I am now going to share a video to give you a synopsis of the Global Entrepreneurship Network. When we return, I will go a little deeper into the topic of GEC and, of course, the support that I'm looking for today when we come back.
I'm Jonathan Ottmans, president and founder of the Global Entrepreneurship Network. What we're about is creating an opportunity for anybody, anywhere, to unleash their idea. We want to make sure that the guy that's got the worst deal on the planet has an opportunity. At the Global Entrepreneurship Network, we've built one global entrepreneurship ecosystem that allows anyone on the planet to be able to connect, understand, support and celebrate the entrepreneurs that represent so much promise for our future. We went in with the belief that we could create a common culture across the globe in the interest of entrepreneurship and innovation. We learned a lot of techniques and tools about ultimately how do you build a community that's across the world? How do you cross national boundaries and cultures and religions and languages? We discovered something that was common in all people. They have this enthusiasm and curiosity about making the world a better place. We tried to provide some structure, but allow a lot of flowers to be blooming the way they wanted to. We have divided our work into 4 primary cornerstones. We want to be able to connect everybody across any aspects of an entrepreneurial ecosystem to find peers, find markets, and find opportunities. Secondly, we want to understand the field better. We want to elevate the field based on research and data. And then thirdly, we're working carefully to provide the best support programs we can find. The last part is we like to celebrate. It's where we began with Global Entrepreneurship Week, which is the notion of making the role of the entrepreneur be perceived around the world as being a force for good, as being the individuals who are able to create new value in our societies and can really set an example for all of our citizens in the way we go about living our lives. Entrepreneurs are the great equalizers. They bring the ability of anybody to be able to have the opportunity no matter where they come from in the world. That promise of entrepreneurship is always what's empowered our community.
Welcome back, and I hope that basically gives you a better understanding as to what GEN is. And I am a proud member and have been a proud member of GEN since 2018. And so now I bring you back to the discussion. As I stated before I went into more detail, is that when I attended GEC in 2019, it gave me access to knowledge, networks, partnerships, and perspectives. And I brought back to Saint Lucia what I had learned. It was also then that I signed a document that brought Entrepreneurship World Cup to Saint Lucia, the biggest pitch competition in the world with the largest investment opportunities for entrepreneurs of any stage. Over $1 million in investment is available for entrepreneurs of any stage. And for persons who are interested in registering for Entrepreneurship World Cup, please note that applications are open. Those of you in St. Lucia, those of you who are watching today, applications for Entrepreneurship World Cup are open. So please use the link that you see there and apply if you are interested in EWC. And now let's get back to what I was discussing. So at GEC, you don't just attend. You connect, you grow, and you represent. So this year, as a Compass Awards finalist and the GEC ambassador to St. Lucia, I am being recognized for work that I've done here in St. Lucia and, of course, across the region. I have supported over 400 entrepreneurs. I have helped to launch over 130 startups, most of which are women-led, and I'm very, very proud of that. I have trained over 50 students in entrepreneurship and financial literacy. I have helped to scale Startup Huddle to all 7 OECS islands, well, with the exception of Barbados, and I cannot take credit for the work that Ms. Cardell Ferguson has done in Barbados with the Barbados Youth Business Trust. She is the strong arm, the leading force behind Startup Huddle in Barbados. I love you, Cardell. You are doing a marvelous, marvelous job. But for the other 6 OECS islands, they are led by YLI alumni, and that was purposeful. because I understood that leaders are who the program was helping to nurture. Leaders are who the program was helping to catalyze through the Wildlife Fellowship. And so it is those same leaders that were selected to lead Startup Huddle in the other 6 OECS islands. So if you've noticed, so far I've mentioned a few programs that have made an impact. So I've mentioned YLI, and that is thanks to the US Department of State through the US Embassy. Thank you again for this program, which allows entrepreneurs between the ages of 25 to 35 an opportunity to go to the US and train for 6 weeks, a network, and form an exchange with organizations, businesses, and companies in the US that help us to bridge those gaps and foster connections and potential partnerships. I want to thank the US Embassy for this program. If it wasn't for this program, all of what is happening with me would not have taken place. Everything had to take place in succession. Everything had to take place in a particular order. So I want to thank the US Embassy for this. The US Embassy has also been a very great support system of mine over the past couple of years. They have supported all of my programs and have funded all of my programs. So thank you once again to the US Embassy. Lisa Howell, I love you. You have been an amazing support system for us here in the region and for championing the startup community and entrepreneurs in the region. Thank you so very much. The Global Entrepreneurship Network, as I stated, thank you for providing, these type of programs that has been helping persons within St. Lucia and in the region. I do think, however, that more can be done to ensure that we have what we need when it comes to these programs. So Jen, President Jonathan Ortmans, I call upon you to dig a little deeper, get to know us in the region a little more, and what it is that we need to further this cause that you have with Jen and for Jen program in the region, because we need a little bit more support, especially when it comes to financing. Financing is a major crutch, major crutch for us here in the region. So if we can get your support with financing for a lot of this programming, Gen programs will go a lot further than they are now. That is a guarantee. So again, thank you to those organizers who have made all of this possible, who has made this journey possible. Now, here is the reality. This is the reality I'm about to share with you. Despite these global recognitions that I am receiving, despite our local successes and our regional successes, I've reached out to multiple agencies for financial assistance to attend GEC 2025. And so far, the answer has been either no or silence. Now, let me be clear. As the ambassador and also as a finalist, my costs are covered by Jen. Let me be clear. My costs are covered by Jen. However, they are covered in the form of reimbursements. So it means that I have to first pay out of pocket and then the funds are reimbursed. That is how the costs are covered. But as of today, things are hard. Finances are low. It is expensive to travel. It is expensive to move, especially to the US, especially now. It's even more challenging. And for me to attend this function, I would need to apply for a business class visa, which I do not have. I need to apply for one. I need to ensure that I have everything that I need in order to adequately and effectively represent Saint Lucia in Indianapolis for GEC. I have already applied for my visa. I've already had the application, but I need to cover the fees. I need to cover the cost of the travel to Barbados for the interview. I need to cover the initial cost of travel to Indianapolis so that I can attend GEC. So these are the costs that have to be covered. And let me be clear, like I said, it will be reimbursed by Jen. But I need assistance. I need the assistance of my people. I need the assistance of the local government agencies that support entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs. I need the support of those agencies who champion entrepreneurship in Saint Lucia. I need your support. It is true that entrepreneurs are the backbone and the foundation of any economy. Look at any economy and you will see we are the backbone. We are the foundation. The people are the lifeblood of any community, of any country. Without the people, we have nothing. And one thing that I have learned is that when a people come together to show support for each other, the impossible is made possible. I have 2 weeks left to secure this funding. And I'm not just talking about funding for myself. I am talking about funding for the contingency of persons that I want to bring with me to the US. But there is always the what if. What if I am unable to go? What if I'm unable to secure the funding that I need to lead that contingency, to represent Saint Lucia at GEC? What if? And yes, I am prepared to say that I was unsuccessful in acquiring what I needed. I'm prepared for that. But I also had another goal in mind. My other goal was to support and to help support those 10 persons who, as an ambassador, I was tasked with recruiting to have Saint Lucia be present at GEC. Something that was never possible before. Do you understand how big this is? We are being invited to attend GEC. A 10-person contingency is being invited to sit at the table of investors, policymakers, and founders from across the globe at this event. Something that was not possible before. Through this appointment that I've gotten, it is possible now. I say this to say that even though, or even if I may not go to GEC, it is my dream and it is my goal that as many Saint Lucians as possible within the startup community or the business community get to experience GEC. That is my goal. That is my vision, so that they can see and experience what I was able to see and experience in 2019 and be touched and amazed by this opportunity. I am committed to recruiting a team of 10 Saint Lucian entrepreneurs to attend GEC. Why? Because it's not about me. It's about paving the way for others. Thank you, Lord, for all that you have blessed me with so far. Thank you, Lord, for providing me that tenacity that I have, that back that you've given me to take those blows over the years of people who said I could not do it, that they did not believe in me, that they did not trust in me. Thank you, Lord, for being with me every step of the way. Only through God have I been able to make it this far. I told God what I wanted to accomplish was to make sure that others would have been able to experience what I've experienced, to see what I have seen, and to know and understand that there are opportunities out there that we have never seen. And they are just there. If only there was a way to reach it. And this appointment gives me that. I am so thankful to God for this opportunity. It is about ensuring that we, as Saint Lucians in the small business community, never miss another seat at that global table. And that is why I cherish this appointment, because it gives me that opportunity to extend that branch to those entrepreneurs, those business persons who want to be at this global event. Unfortunately, and there are quite a few unfortunates, if you do not have a valid US visa, you will not be able to attend. If you cannot financially support yourself, cover your costs such as your flights, your accommodation, your meals, and so on, well, meals for the most part are covered by Jen, but for your flights and your accommodation, if you are unable to cover those costs, it would not be the right time for you to go. Because we do not yet have the allocation of funds set aside for a group of us to go to GEC. These are the baby steps that we're taking. It has taken me from 2019 to now to achieve this, and it may take some time, but I will not give up. You have my word. I will not give up. I will keep striving to ensure that we, the persons of the small business and the business community generally in St. Lucia, have the support that we need, the financial support that we need to attend GEC every year. It may not be possible this year, but it will happen by God's grace. It will happen by God's grace. So here's what I'm asking you today. Let's not wait on the policymakers to do what we, the people, can start doing now. There's a slogan that I learned from YLI that I carry with me every day. Don't wait for change, create it. Let's plant the seed so that one day there will be a line item in our national budget for entrepreneurship representation at global summits like GEC. But until that happens, let's do it ourselves. I invite you. Let us do it. Let's come together. Entrepreneurs, mentors, partners, citizens, members of the diaspora. Let us pool our resources and create a community-backed fund to send our entrepreneurs to GEC. Let us finance the business community future. Let us show the world what Saint Lucians are capable of when we unite behind a common vision. Let us show them. Let us demonstrate what God has given us. Let us show that when we come together, we are a force to be reckoned with, and we stand united. Though we may compete within our various industries, because that's what businesses do, when it comes to events such as GEC, bringing together everyone under one roof, channeling all the good things, hashing out all the challenges so that we can see how we can do better tomorrow. It is something to fight for. It is something to pray for. I have not or I should say, I may not have the resources yet, but I do have the vision, the track record, and the determination. God has given me something that fuels me every single day, and it is passion, a love for helping people, and a love for seeing others succeed, and a love for seeing the joy in someone's face when they have gotten to the step that they need to take. I have a passion for it. It fills me with a joy that I cannot explain. And though I may not be a millionaire today, I could have been, like I said, if I was charging the right fees, I could have been a millionaire today if I wanted to. But money was the last thing on my mind. Helping people, helping my people is what I have a passion for. I believe that if we start now, we can ensure that Saint Lucia is not just seen, but heard, respected, and celebrated on the world stage for years to come. I believe that. So if you believe in this vision, reach out, donate, share this message, nominate entrepreneurs who are deserving to be part of something like this. Let's build a team for GEC 2025 and beyond. Right now, I'm responsible for recruiting 10 persons, and I would love to have media representation as part of that 10-person delegation, let me just say, because having a media person present at GEC would be monumental. I'm telling you. I am telling you. We'll be able to report back home as to all of what persons are missing or what persons can be part of later down the line, and expose to the rest of St. Lucia what this is like, what this type of community is like. You can contact me directly if you wish to reach out. I can be reached at iamyourstartupadvisor@gmail.com. That is my email on the screen. iamyourstartupadvisor@gmail.com. And for those of you who would like to register to attend GEC, who have a US visa and who are capable of financing their own trip there, I highly recommend that you register. Here is the link to register. It is gec.co, gec.co. That is the link. Please go ahead and register. It would be great if you could attend. If you can afford to go, then by all means, please do. You can reach out to me. I will share with you my special code as an ambassador. There is actually a cost to GEC. It is $399 US to attend GEC, but with my special ambassador code, your cost is $0. The ticket cost is $0 for GEC. You cover your flight, your hotels, but the GEC ticket cost is $399 US, but with my code, your cost is $0. So if you want to defer your cost, if you're Saint Lucian and you would like to attend GEC, register using this link, contact me, and I will provide you with the code so that you can get that $0 balance on the page when you check out. I would love for as many Saint Lucians as possible to be able to experience GEC this year. That is my dream. That is my dream. If not this year, then next year, God willing. Then next year, God willing. For those of you who are keen to donate, this is my information that is showing on the screen. And the information is also going to be in the description box below this video. So please do reach out if you would like to donate and support my trip to GEC this year. I will, of course, be sharing everything, the journey from start to finish, just like I did when I traveled in 2019. In 2019, my travel cost was funded by the U.S. Embassy. Again, thank you to the U.S. Embassy for supporting me and my initiatives for so many years. Thank you for your support. Unfortunately, they could not support me. They could not provide support this year due to the new policies that were drawn up by the new U.S. president. The grant funding for this type of initiative is no longer available. So this was why they were unable to support me this year. And so this is why I am seeking support from my own people, whether it be the private sector, public sector, or just individuals within the community, the general public. Anyone who is willing to support, it is welcome. And of course, please share this video. Please share it far and wide across Saint Lucia, the region, the diaspora. Let's take Saint Lucia to the world together. Let's do that. We deserve to be at GEC. Our entrepreneurs who are working hard and making a life for themselves and for their communities and impacting the community, especially those types of entrepreneurs and those businesses, they should be able to go to GEC, learn, and then come back and then give back to the people who supported them. We all have to help each other. By God's grace, we all have to help each other. So again, for those of you who would like to help, feel free to reach out. My contact information, like I said, is in the description box below. I am looking forward to hearing from you. I express gratitude to everyone so far who has reached out to congratulate me on both my appointment and my nomination. Thank you so very much. It has been a challenge. I mean, barrier breaker category, there's a reason for that. There is a reason for that. And God knows why, because God knows I've been breaking barriers from the time I started. It has been a challenge, but God is good. He has been by my side every step of the way. I give him thanks and I give him praise, because without him, I am nothing. He fuels me. He provides me with what I need. Even though I may not be rich, I am filled with the Spirit. I am filled with the passion and the knowledge that he has given me. And as long as there's breath in my body, I will keep helping. I will keep reaching out. I will keep sourcing, connecting, and empowering others through the work I do with SLUDTERA and through M&S Consultancy. So for those of you who are watching or who will watch this replay, thank you so much for your support. I wanted to say thank you again to persons who would have reached out to congratulate me. I want to thank you. Your support is very much appreciated. Everyone, let's give God thanks, because without him, we are nothing. God's will be done in all things. Thank you, and God bless everyone. Take care.